All right, who out there struggles with control? All right, so I am guilty of both extremes. I am guilty of sometimes trying to micromanage and over-control everything that is happening in my life. And on the flip side, at times when I'm overwhelmed and frustrated, just stepping back and saying, oh, I wish somebody else could handle all of this because this is just too much for me. And I was having dinner with some dear friends over the weekend, and a beautiful analogy arose from an activity that we did. So we had this lovely dinner and we were sitting down afterwards, and at some point in time my friend turns to her partner and says, can we drive? And I'm looking at her just going, what's going on? And she asked, do you want to do car simulation? Do you want to do racing? And I said, me and controllers, we don't get along like that. The buttons and coordination, it's too complex for me. And she said, no, it's like a real wheel and pedals and the screen, but it's a more live simulation. And I thought, oh, I love to drive. So this could be something really, really interesting. Yeah, I'm in. And so she does a couple of laps to show me how it is. And then she says, come, sit. And so we're sitting across and the two of them are sitting next to me. And as I get a couple of laps, I'm starting to get a little bit more comfortable and it's feeling a bit more intuitive. And I hear her tell to her partner, oh, I see what you mean. I see how she's letting the wheel slide through her hands. And just a little bit of background, my friend is primarily traveling via bike and walking and tram. She's not driving so much. And so her partner responds and says, yeah, this is what I mean. Because you don't drive so much, you're sitting there thinking that you need to hold onto the wheel and control everything. But actually, when you make a turn, it's more helpful to let the car come back to its natural center. And in that moment, I thought, oh, how interesting. Because I'd also already had a few times where I wanted to just let go of the wheel and go, screw it. Like, whatever, I don't get it. And I know what would happen. I know that my little simulation car would fly off a cliff or end up in an ice field or the woods somewhere, depending on what track I was on. And it started me thinking is that so often we hear this analogy of who's in the driver's seat. But you are always in the driver's seat because no one else can be in that space. The question is actually, what is your relationship with the wheel? Are we gripping so tightly and trying to override every uncontrollable bump and curve in the road? Are we finding ourselves in those times where the terrain is just way too intense or overwhelming that we just want nothing to do with the wheel? Or can we find that sweet spot where we're still engaged? We still have the ability to respond to what's happening, but we also have a certain amount of trust that yes, the bumps come and the curves are there, but when I need to take a big curve, can I trust life and can I trust myself to help me find the way back to center without the white knuckles? So that's my task for this time of transition and some unexpected turns, is to let myself have a different relationship with the wheel. One that is still engaged, but that loosens the grip and allows myself to naturally return to center.